Who were the explorers? The routes that remade the world. A shopkeeper in a crowded port counts coins while a trading ship waits for spices that never arrive. That bottleneck, goods stuck far away, set off one of history's biggest adventures. We're talking about the Age of Exploration, a time when European countries sent ships to find quicker paths to distant markets. Once you've watched this, you'll be able to explain why they sailed, name a few key explorers, and connect their routes to how our maps took shape. Here's the simple version. Explorers were like problem solvers for geography. They were trying to fix one main problem: how to get valuable goods from Asia without slow, risky detours. A trade route is just a path that goods travel, like a delivery route across a city. The most prized goods then were spices, things like pepper, cinnamon, and cloves from the East Indies, which is a European name for Southeast Asian islands. Spices flavored food and preserved it, so they sold for high prices. Underneath all the sailing, the reason was wealth. Stories helped spark the race. Marco Polo's travels, written accounts of the riches of Asia, made Europeans more curious about reaching those markets. Portugal took the lead first. Prince Henry the Navigator, a royal who loved maps and ships, sponsored voyages along the west coast of Africa to inch toward a sea route to Asia. That set the stage for Vasco da Gama. In 1497, he set out, rounded the southern tip of Africa, a dangerous turn with fierce winds, and became the first European to reach India by sea. That created a working route to buy spices at the source. Not every plan went east. Spain backed a different idea: sail west to reach Asia. Christopher Columbus sailed for Spain in 1492, aiming for Asia, but reaching lands Europeans hadn't known existed across the Atlantic. People later called these lands the New World, the Americas. When Spain and Portugal both wanted these places, they signed the Treaty of Tordesillas, an agreement to split new discoveries between them. As explorers kept landing, some realized this wasn't Asia at all. Amerigo Vespucci argued these shores were a new continent. Map makers took note, and the name America stuck. On the narrow strip of land in Central America, Vasco Núñez de Balboa crossed the jungle and reached a vast new body of water. He had discovered the Pacific Ocean, the huge ocean on the other side of the Americas. Now sailors knew there was a whole extra ocean to cross if they wanted to reach Asia this way. Could the oceans all link up? Ferdinand Magellan's expedition answered that. His crew became the first to circumnavigate the globe, sail all the way around it, showing you could keep going and return to your starting point. Many people already suspected the Earth was round, but this voyage made it real for navigation. Up north, another puzzle tempted sailors: the Northwest Passage, a hoped-for waterway through or around North America to Asia. John Cabot explored the Canadian coastlines for England, mapping and searching, but found ice and land instead of a shortcut. Exploration wasn't only about maps, it changed empires and people. Hernán Cortés, a Spanish conquistador in North America, conquered the Aztec Empire. Spain gained wealth, while indigenous peoples suffered war, disease, and loss of land. Even after the first wave, questions remained. In the 1700s, James Cook sailed the Pacific. Some Europeans believed in Terra Australis, a giant unknown southern continent. Cook's careful voyages mapped Australia and New Zealand and showed there was no massive mystery land down there. Now, spot the pattern. Explorers chased trade routes and wealth, tried different directions, and turned guesses into maps. That's how our sense of the world shifted from blank spaces to connected coasts. To put it together, explorers sought new trade routes for wealth and spices. Some went east around Africa with Vasco da Gama. Others went west with Columbus and the Treaty of Tordesillas shaping claims. And global mapping leaped forward with Vespucci's new continent, Balboa's Pacific, and Magellan's first circumnavigation, later refined by Cook. The takeaway: routes aren't just lines on a map. They're choices that changed who met whom, who traded, and who ruled. Next time you open a map, trace one of these voyages and ask, what problem were they trying to solve?